Si tú sabes si ha visto mi mujer por la calle. ¿Dónde está mi mujer? En la calle, por acá, por ella y por allá, por ella. Ha visto mi mujer en la calle.
I'm Tim Simpson, and along with Sarah Van Gameren, we are a design studio called Glithero, and we're based in London.
Assignment of the museum was to work in the way that we normally work, so really based on process and the way that things are made. And the subject or the theme of the museum that year was gemeenschappen.
We're designer makers. We make. That means that we make the things that we produce. But more and more, we're turning that spotlight onto other makers to reveal stories about other craftsmen that we collaborate with, and their stories, and even more so to then bring two types of craft or two types of industry together in an interesting and surprising way, to sort of join them together in a way that hasn't been done before, because then you create really interesting contact points.
And the two different crafts we have focused on was on the one side the organ man, the organ bookmaker, and on the other side the weaver. And we had a particular reason to focus on these crafts, because both professions, they use the same book.
Our idea was to bring the two crafts together, the craft of the organ maker and the craft of the weaver together in an interesting way. And we had the idea that what would happen if we were to weave with music? What would happen if we could run an organ book through a loom? What would that look like? What would it become? Would it even be possible? The format of a weaving jacquard card is very different to that of an organ card. For a start, the jacquard card has perforated holes, and an organ book is a series of cut slots that then control the music. So we had to come up with a way that these two coded forms were compatible.
The organ maker Leon van Leeuwen. He was a very special case, because he's one of the very few people who still is an organ bookmaker, so almost a composer or a translator of music, as well as making the organ machines himself and restoring the organ machines. And on the other hand, we had Wil van den Broek. He just pensioned here at the Textile Museum in Tilburg. And he used to be the person who was involved with all the machines here. He still knows how things really used to work, and also why it is that certain digital machines behave the way they do nowadays. There was the Museum of Textile in Tilburg, and there was the Museum Speelklok Pyramid in Utrecht. We got a lot of interesting information from them about how organs work and what the historic way of working was with these machines and using these machines. In the end, the whole project came together in the Zuiderzee Museum, so it was also a collaboration of various musea, and that made it very rich, and and hopefully also brought things to the table that normally live more in archives. So for us it was a very rich project.